So this is a recap. Whatever we are doing a recap, I am recording it now. I will share it for your later purposes. Okay. So let me start with this introduction on Power BI. You know Power BI have two options. There are two Power BIs available. One is Power BI Desktop. Second one is Power BI Services. I think Power BI Desktop is totally free of cost. No need for buying anything. It's totally free of cost. Power BI Services, of course, you need a licensing for it. There are several types of licensing: free licensing, pro, and professional licensing. So we start with the Power BI Desktop. And the advantage of the Power BI Desktop is you will have updation literally every month. Every month you will get an updation. And the latest update is, of course, March 2025. And how this Power BI has been evaluated. How the Power BI has been evaluated. Basically, before Power BI, what is the tool we use to create a report? The tool which we use to create a report before Power BI is pivot. But pivot, based on how many tables can we create a pivot is based on only one table. Suppose we want to create a report based on multiple tables, then we can go for Power Pivot. And to transform the data, to convert the data into a proper data, clean up your data, we used one more tool, that is Power Query. And to make a dashboard, we used a tool called as Power View. All these four tools to combine together, now they have created this tool, that is your Power BI. You know what is BI? BI is business. A is artificial intelligence. BI is business intelligence. Okay. So let me start opening this Power BI. I will open Power BI. When I open Power BI, and it will show you the starting screen. Could you tell me how can I check the version of Power BI? What is the version of Power BI we are using? How do we check the version? File. Blank report, and you can go to about, or else you can see the about is also available here. On the bottom also you can see about, and you can go to blank report and you can click on about. If you are already signed in, your name will be displayed on the right hand side. You will have your name displayed. Why my name is not displayed? Because I am not connected with the Wi-Fi. If you are connected with the Wi-Fi, already it would have been signed in. Now, one method is you can click on about. Another method is you can click on blank report. On the blank report, you can go to the help. Under the help, you can click on about. It will show you what is the version of Power BI we are all using. The latest version is March 2025. Yes. And we have seen the introduction of this Power BI. On the top, you can see your file name and your software name is available. This is called as title bar. Very good. Below the title bar, this whole area put together, we call this as ribbons. On the ribbon, the first item file, it's called as office button, home insert, and designing are all tabs. Very good. A special tab will appear here, that is called as contextual tab. Below this tab, this clipboard and data and queries are all groups, and each item available here, we call it as commands. Superb. On the left hand side, there are four types of options available. First one is your report view, where we can create our reports. So if you want to create a report, if you want to create a visual, you can go for the report view. Second view is your table view, where we can see our table, or where you can see our data. Our table and data, you can view it here. Table or a data. And third one is your model view. Very good. Model view is relationship, where we can create a relationship between the views. Model view, relationship view. Today we will see how to use end of the session we'll see how to use the relationship view. There is one more view available on the last, that is called as DAX. What is meant by DAX? DAX is data analysis and expression. Super. And you can see there are two types of views available on the bottom. The first one is desktop view. Second one is your mobile view. When you are sharing the files to others, file share how they are going to see the file, whether they are going to see it on the desktop or they are going to see it on the mobile. So you can change your layouts also based on that. Maybe today we'll see how to change the layouts also. And you know that Excel is a workbook which will have list of sheets, and Power BI is a report which will have list of pages. You will have list of pages. And inside the page, this overall area put together, what is a technically we have a name for this area. We call this as canvas. The name of this area is called as canvas. And there is a dotted lines available left hand side, right hand side, and bottom. That is called as margins. Very good. And on the right hand side here, filter. There are three types of filter is available. First is used for filtering a particular visual. And this one is to filter a particular page. And there is one more filter all pages also. To find the top 10 on the pages, I think we will be using the filter. As I told, we will explore the filter today. Today or next session, we will explore the filter. And under the visualization, there are three types of visualization. First one is this is used for creating or inserting a visualization. Second one is for formatting your visualization. Third one will have one more, that is for analyzing your visualization. I think yesterday we have seen creating and formatting. We didn't see about analyzing. Maybe today or tomorrow or next session we'll see about the analyzing your visualization also. And this is the data where we can see all your column headings will be displayed here. And this plus and minus is our zoom slider. Okay. So in Power BI, there are 5 options. You have to do 5 things in Power BI. First, what we have to do is we have to get the data. From where we can get the data? Any data source in the world. You can get the data from any data source. After getting the data, second, what we have to do it is transform the data. For transforming the data, what is the tool we use? Power Query. Very good. After transforming the data, we have to load the data. To load the data, where are we going to load the data? We are going to load the data into Power BI desktop. Then the next one is we are going to create a report. To create a report, once again we are using this Power BI desktop. After creating a report, later we have to fifth one is publish your report. So publish your report. What is the tool we used is Power BI services. Super. I think yesterday we have seen all the 4, right? Get the data, transform the data, load the data, report it and publish it. We have seen all the 5. So first we have to get the data. Yesterday we have seen that file. I think we have used this file. That is this revenue analysis. When I open the file, you can see empty rows, empty columns are available. We have to clean up and we have to load the data. So what we have to do is we have to go to there are 4 methods of getting the data. File, get data, or you can go to the home tab, get data, or the get data is available on your canvas area, or go to the data and get data also. Out of this, which I recommend is home. So let us click on get data, Excel workbook, and I select that file, go to open, it goes to the navigator. Under navigator, you have to select, I think it will display 2 things. One is on the top, another one it will display something suggested table. Out of this, I recommend to go with the first one. When I click this, load and transform is still graded out because we have to make a tick mark on this. After making a tick mark, we can go to the, which I recommend is transform. I always recommend to go with the transform. Load, transform, rendu option. I recommend always to go with the transform data. So let me click on transform data. After transform data, it goes to Power Query. On the left hand side, query settings. On the center, table names. On the right hand side, query settings are available. This is query name, and right hand side, query settings. Whatever the steps you are doing, it will note it here by step, it will be noted. But unknowingly, knowingly, if you have removed this query settings, can you tell me how can I get back this query settings? Go to view, under view, there is an option called as query settings. I click on the query settings. And how can I check whether my column quality is correct? Basically, you have to check 3 things to check your column quality. First, you have to check whether your all are green. You have to check all are green. Second one, what you have to do is you have to check your headings. Third one, you have to check your data type. Okay. So how can I check all my columns are green or not? So you can see below the column heading, there is a bar available here. If this bar is 100% green, then it means your data is perfect. If there is a gray or red, there is some error. What is the error? How can I find out the error? One is you can place the cursor over that green. It will show you whether how many data are valid, how many data are error. But by default, it shows only 876 plus 124, only 1000 records. Could you tell me how can I check for the entire data set? On the bottom, there is an option, column proofing for the entire data set. But by default, you will not get this option. But default, you can see only the green. You have to place the cursor on the green. Can you tell me how can I get this? Column quality. Very good. You have to go to the view tab. Under view tab, you have to select the column quality. So let me select that column quality so that the column quality will be displayed. And when you place the cursor, it is giving some suggestion. Remove empty. But I don't recommend this. I'll recommend to go with Home tab. Under Home tab, there is an option called as Remove Rows. Under Remove Rows, you can see top rows, bottom rows, alternative rows. I recommend to go with blank rows, so that all the blank rows would have been deleted. But தெரியாம இந்த step பண்ணிட்டேன். Can you tell me how can I undo that last step? There is a into mark. But I want to know how is my earlier step. Before removing the empty rows, how was my table? After removing the empty rows, how was my table? You can click on the earlier step and you can check how was my table. And even you can give some name for the steps also, right? How do we give the name? Right click and you can say rename and you can give a meaningful name for the steps also. Deleted the empty rows. We can give some meaningful name for this also. Okay? Right. Then, how can I remove? What is the best? And heading is not in a proper method. I want to promote this heading. How can I promote the heading? First one is you can click on the arrow mark. Use first row as the header. Or one more option. On the Home tab also, there is an option. Use first row as the header. So I will promote the first row as the header. Now two things has happened. One is your heading has been promoted automatically. Another one, you can see the data type format is changed automatically also. So if you are getting 1, 2, 3, that means your column is in a number format. If you are getting the calendar, that means your column is in a date. ABC is a text. But 99% it will detect it. Sometimes if it is not detecting, you can go to transform. Under transform, there is an option called as detect data type. But still, can I force the data type? I want to force and change the data type into number or a text. Yes, you can click here and you can change it to number or a text or whatever the format you want. Okay. And there are some empty columns on the right hand side. Could you tell me what is the best method for removing all the empty columns? Home. Choose columns. Very good. Go to the choose column. Under choose column, let me uncheck whatever the columns you want and select the columns. Whichever the columns you want, you can select it. But knowingly, unknowingly, I didn't select a particular column. I forgot to select it or I removed a column. Can you tell me how can I get back that column again? On the right hand side, you can see there is an option called as settings, where we can edit your last step also. And last one is the payment mode is empty. There are some empty cells. How can I replace the empty cells? Right click on the column, go to replace value. Or you can see the replace value is available on your Home tab also. Either go to the replace value or you can use this replace value also. So replace value, and it's case sensitive. All the null has to be replaced with something. We did it as something as pending. Okay. So all the applied steps are available. And I'm saying one warning here. Whenever you do some new steps, come to the last and do it. ஏதாவது ஒரு புது ஸ்டெப் பண்றாருன்னா கடைசியில வந்து பண்ணுங்க. நடுவுல ஏதாவது இங்க கர்சர் வச்சுட்டு புது ஸ்டெப் பண்ணாதீங்க. It will collapse your entire table. So please be careful. Suppose I want to do something here. I want to add a column. I want to remove a column. Something. Do it at the last. Don't do it somewhere else in the middle. Middle cursor வச்சு பண்ணாதீங்க. The bottom step will get collapsed. Okay. So let us click on this last step. Now I want to load this to Power BI. Close and apply. If you are 100% sure, you can close and apply, or there is an option apply or close. Apply is only saving, close is closing without saving. This one is save and close. Close and apply. Yes. Now you can see it will be loaded to your Power BI. So on the right hand side, you can see the table headings and the columns will be displayed like a pivot table. On the right hand side, everything is displayed here. Here, whenever you see a sigma, that means it's a number. If you see a date, that means it's a date format. Empty means that's a text format. Could you tell me how can I go back to the Power Query now? Transform data. So you can go to the transform data. Anytime you can come here, you can modify your data. And I can come back to Power BI and I close and apply. But is it required every time to check the data? I have to go to Power Query. Can I check the data here itself in Power BI? This one, table view or a data view. Click on the table view or data view. You can check your headings also here, your table name here. And whenever I add a new record on my source data, suppose I am going to add a new record on my source data here at the last. If I add a new record at the last, will it be updated on the pivot table? Will it be updated on my Power BI? Unfortunately, it will not update. So if you want to update, what has to be done? There is an option called as refresh. But if you change the location of this table, suppose today I am working in D drive, tomorrow I am going to cut this file and put it into some other location, then you can go for data source, transform data, where we have an option called as data source settings, and you can change your source. You can change your location also, right? Then after this, what we did is the page settings. I want to change the background color, page name. You have to go to page format, page information. You can give a name for this page. And today or tomorrow, next week, we are going to see the tooltip and Q&A, very powerful feature. And canvas settings is about the page size. I think we didn't make any page size. If you want, you can change the page size. Canvas background. What is that canvas background is? Within the margin, you can give a color. That's a canvas background. Wallpaper background is entire background color. But I didn't give a color yesterday. We didn't give a color also. Only one thing we changed here is the page name. Page name we have changed. Then I want to put a title. Go to insert, text box. If I click, it's showing some title, but the font size I don't like. I want to put a different font. Today I will explain how to bring your company font also here. So I want the same font throughout my presentation, throughout my Power BI. So how can I get the same font? View, under view, more button, and then go to the customize current theme and go to the text and change all the four into the same font. All the four you have to change it to the same font. Calibri, Cambria, all the four. All the four you have to give the same font. Okay, all the four things I am putting the same font here. Then say OK. When I insert, go to insert and text box, you will get the same font. I can increase the font size or something, and I can give a title for this. Just I'm typing a small title here. So you can put a title for this dashboard. And very importantly, you have to check, you should not get a gray line here on the corner. If you are getting the gray line, that means your column width is not perfect. You have to increase the height and width of that. So you should not get the gray line. And how can you insert your logo? Insert, image, you can insert your logo. And similarly, insert, shape. We have seen how to insert your line, some shape. I can put a line like this. And I can increase the height and width of the line. How can I change the color and the size of that line? Go to the shape, format shape, under format shape style, where we can change the borders. Under border, you can change the line color. You can change the line width also. And first thing which we have seen is, I want to insert a visual. I want to display the total amount here, or I want to display the total net profit. Which could be the best visual to display only the total? Card. So on the build visual, there is 1, 2, 3. This one is card. So let me click on the card. A card is inserted. Now I want the net profit here. I recommend, if you want the net profit, drag and drop it to the field area here. So let me drag the net profit and bring it to the field area. Yes, it displays 124.73K. Could you tell me, I don't want this 124.73K. I want the exact value. Go to the format, under format, call out value. Under call out value, you can see there is some display units where you can change it to none. And it's not required every time I have to go to the display. Here I am able to find it. Where is the display unit? Sometimes I don't know where is the display units available. You can go to the search and you can type the DIS. Okay, very good. Then how can I switch off this title? I want to give my own title here. I want to switch off this category label, switch off. Then go to the general title. You can type a title also here. You can type the title here. What is the title you want? You can type your title and you can do the formatting for your title also. I have given bold, center alignment, some background color, some font color. So like this you can change your titles. How can I display the currency format and how can I display the comma separators? There is an option available called as data format. Under the data format, you can change the format into currency. And what is the currency you want? By default, I am getting English India. You can change any currency format also. You can put any currency format and decimal points also you can change. And every time I want to go to a visual and change it. Can I change this globally? Whenever I am using the net profit, I want the currency symbol. Whenever I am using the net profit, I want the comma separators. Select that net profit. On the top, you can see there is an option called as column tools, where we can see change the currency symbol, change the comma separator, and change the decimal points. This is global. Whenever I use the net profit, I want the format. Each visual you have to go there. Now you have to select this and you have to go to the data format and manually you have to change it for each and every visual. Okay. Now let me insert another visual. I want the count of bill numbers. So when I drag the bill number here, by default it's giving sum. Could you tell me how can I change it to count? Click on the drop down and change it. Two counts are available. One is count distinct, which will count the unique values. Count will count the distinct, the duplicate values also. So I go for count distinct. How can I maintain the same format? Whatever the format I have, I want to maintain the same format. Format painter. Click it and click this. Same format is copied and pasted. Unfortunately, there is now formatting displayed because we have to give the heading for it. If I give the heading, then you will get it. Count of bills. Okay. And normally I recommend to put for any visual, I recommend always to use the shadow. So to have a better view, I recommend to put a shadow here. That's your option, but I recommend normally to put a shadow. And let me insert another visual. For example, I want to insert a pie chart. So region wise, I want to know what is the sum of net profit. So you have to know two things. Which wise you want it, that should be dragged to the first position. Whichever you want to summarize it, that should be dragged to the second position. That can be any chart, pie chart, column chart, bar chart, whatever the chart. So I am dragging this region to the legend area and value to the net profit area. So region, legend, net profit. Now I want to make some changes. Go to format again. Suppose I want to put the legend at the bottom center. I am doing the legend at the bottom center. And if you want to change this formatting, if you want to change this K, instead of K, I want to put a thousands or anything. Once again, you have to go to the display units. So just go to the search box and type the display units and change it to none. But the main advantage of using the Power BI is interaction between the visuals. When I select the South region, it automatically shows me the total of South region. It automatically shows the count of South region, North region, East region, and West region. And I want to do a conditional formatting for this. If my bill is more than 400, I want to give a color. Select this card, then go to format, go to callout. Can you tell me where can I do the conditional formatting? FX. Click on FX. And then instead of gradient, I think yesterday we used the rules. And it should not be based on sum, it should be based on count. Minimum to something, maybe I'll put it as 400. Minimum to 400, we are giving some color, red color. New rules from 400. from 400 to 1000, or I want the system to take the maximum value. You can delete that 0. 0 del panna, it will automatically takes the maximum value. So I'll put it as 1000 here, and I'll put a color for it. More color, green, and I selected the green. Okay. So based on whatever I select, you can see the colors are changing automatically. This is fine. But whenever I place the cursor here, it's giving some tooltip. Region, this is the sum of net profit. I want the extra information to be displayed. I want sum of the total amount. I want the sum of the tax, sum of the shipping cost. I want all the extra information to be displayed. How can I do that? Select this add data to visual. Suppose I want the total amount to be displayed. Drag the total amount and bring it to the tooltip area. Very good. So whatever you want to total it, you have to drag and you have to drop it to the tooltip area. In the Mari, you can drag and drop, and you can change your formula also. Okay, this is tooltip. When you place the cursor, it will show you the tooltip. And we have seen how to change the color of the tooltip also. Tooltip, select this pie chart, and I go to the general, where we can see tooltip, the background color, text color, white as the text color, background color as black. And region wise report is ready, but under the region I want to check the state wise. Under state wise I want to check the city wise. Under city wise I want customer type wise. So select the pie chart and go to the add data to the visual. I want to create the drill down here. How can I create the drill down? Already region is added. Under the region I want to add the state. So below the region the state was added, and I want to add the city also. Automatically you can see the drill down is created. But the single arrow, you have to switch on that single arrow. How do we switch on the single arrow? Just make a click. Now when I click on south, under south, what are all the state? Under state, what are all the cities? Drill up, drill up. But this two arrow, what it will do is, it will show you all the state wise and all the city wise. It will not filter and drill down, it states away drill down here. The last one is, it creates a split here. South region Tamil Nadu, South region Karnataka, South region Kerala. It will create a split straight away here. Drill down. Drill up, drill up, drill up to come to the first position. Then, after this, what we did is we have created a column chart. So I want bill date wise. So let us drag the bill date to the x-axis and net profit to the y-axis. You can see automatically it has created the drill down here. So what is the advantage? When I click on year, you will get a quarter. When I click on quarter, you will get month. When I click on month, you will get a day-wise report also. Drill up, drill up, drill up. And I want to do a conditional formatting for this. Select it, format, columns, FX. I think yesterday we used the gradient. Gradient is based on what? Net profit. Lowest value I will put it as red, middle value I am putting it as yellow, highest value let us say green. No need to change this every time. When you go to the view tab, under view tab, if I go to this more button, and if I go to the customize current theme, and if you change the color here, automatically you can see maximum what is the color, middle what is the color, minimum what is the color. இங்க மாத்தி விட்டீங்கன்னா ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் நீங்க வந்து பண்ணணும். No need to change the colors manually every time. Highest should be green, minimum should be red, middle should be yellow. If you change it here, it automatically changes in everywhere. No need for doing it manually every time. Okay. Now the color has changed automatically. So based on whatever I click, how can I display the values on the top? Select this pie column chart, go to the format, there is an option called as data label. But here the problem is when I click on pie chart, the column chart is highlighting. But when same thing, when I click on column chart, the pie chart is highlighting. I don't want to highlight it, I want to filter this. When I click this, this has to be filtered, this has to be filtered, this has to be filtered. What can we do now? Select this, go to format, under format we have an option called as edit interaction. And on the top of every icon, there is some icon appearing here on the top. Normal, you will have only two icons, but chart, you will have three icons. One is for filtering, second one is for highlighting, third one is for none. So I think we used the filter here. Suppose if you don't want the filter, you can click on none also. So you have to do it for both. I did it for column chart. Same thing you have to do it for the pie chart also. When you click on pie chart, the column chart has to be filtered. So you can click on filter. Then now I want my audience should focus more on this column chart. How can I make my audience to focus more on this column chart? There is an option called as focus mode. Back. But one more option is available. Instead of focus mode, you can put a spotlight. There is a three dotted lines where we can see spotlight. Yes. Then we have added a new page and we'll create a column chart. And I want to bring the region wise. Let me put the region into x-axis, total amount into y-axis. But here the region, highest region values is on the top and the lowest is coming at the last. Can you tell me how can I sort this in ascending order based on the region names? There is a three dot, click on the three dot, then go to sort axis, sort it by region, and I want it in descending order or ascending order, sort axis, then you can put it in ascending order. But same thing I want to show it in multiple chart. For example, every customer wise I want to know, customer type wise I want to know the region wise also. So what we do, we can drag the customer type into the small multiples. Super. Small multiples where we get the multiple chart here. How can I bring all this in one row? Format where we can see small multiples. How many rows are there? One row. And how many columns? 4 columns. And finally, parameter. I want to give a permission for my user. They can select the report based on whatever they are using. They can select based on their wish. So go to the modeling tab, new parameter, field. Field, you can give a name for the field. That's your wish. You can give any name. I have given a same name parameter. Now I want to add whatever I wanted. Suppose I want state-wise report, city-wise report, region-wise. I select region, I select state, I select city, customer type, payment mode, and bill date. Year, expand the bill date, expand the date hierarchy, select the year. So these are all the things I want to give a permission for my user. They can tick this and they can create a report. So now when you click on create, two things will happen. One is it will create a slicer. Second one is it will create one more extra table. Okay. In the name, what we have given, parameter, no parameter name. Yesterday I given switch field, so it will create a name in switch field. Say OK. Yes. You can see a slicer is created here and a table is also created on the right hand side, parameter. Okay. Now I want to create a report. Any report I want to create. So let me click on column chart. And based on what I want to create a column chart, I don't know. My user may select region, city or state. I don't know what they will select. So which we have to bring it to the x-axis now. So this one, parameter field. Yesterday we given switch field. Today I given the parameter field. Expand the parameter and drag that parameter to the x-axis. Then I will put the total amount or anything to the y-axis. Now what is the advantage? Based on whatever you tick, the reports is created automatically here. Now I want the second level of this slicer. One more slicer. Control C, Control V. Move the slicer outside. Then if I select region, it should show the sub items of that region. So what we have to do, on the right hand side, there is a field option available. Under that field, there is an arrow mark where I can see there is an option called as show value of a selected field. So if I select state, it shows all the state details. If I select city, it shows all the city details. But unfortunately, if I want to select multiple cities, you have to hold the control key and select it. But I don't want the control key to be selected. So go to slicer, slicer settings, selection. Under selection, there is an option called as multi-select. You have to switch off that, switch off. After switching off it, no need for pressing the control key. Straight away you can make a tick mark. To clear the slicer, there is a button for clearing. And I don't like this like a tick mark. I want to put it like a tile. So select the slicer, go to format, slicer settings. Instead of vertical list, you can make it as tile. That's it. Now it shows like a tile format. So based on whatever you select, it shows the detail. Under that, it shows the sub activity of this, sub level of this. So based on this, you can select automatically. So this is what we have completed. After that, we have seen how to publish our report. We have a folder. Under that folder, we will put a file. Similarly, in online, if you want to publish, we have a separate area that is called as workspace. Pro license, you can create a workspace, but a free license, we don't have a workspace. So you have to publish our report on my workspace. Now I cannot publish because it's not connected with Wi-Fi. Anyway, yesterday itself I have recorded that how to publish it. That also is recorded as a video that I will share it later. And this is what we have learned yesterday. I will stop the video now. I think we have recapped